10 points, 1.7 steals, and a block while shooting 41% from deep. That was the 2024 season from Alex Caruso. And now that he's a part of the former one-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder, I thought we should take a deep dive on just how good of a defensive player he actually is and how he can help OKC win their first title since moving to Oklahoma. On the defensive side of the ball, he's as good as it gets in the NBA. As here, he uses his lightning-quick hands to poke the ball free from Jaden Ivey for some self-delivered room service. Even the game's greats aren't safe around AC, as here he perfectly reads LeBron's step through and strips him. Here RJ Barrett was way too lazy with this entry pass, and that's something you simply can't do when matched up against Caruso, as Chicago get out on the break for 2. Here against OKC, it's Drummond that forces Ousmane Dieng to pick up his dribble, and as soon as he does, Caruso is right there for the back tap. Caruso is great at getting into passing lanes, as here he perfectly times this interception and then shows off his improved offensive game with this tough finish. Even when he's out of the play, he is not out of the play. Here, Toronto are inbounding the ball and just need to catch it and get fouled. Caruso will first make a contest for the ball, and once he goes to ground, he somehow manages to make Scottie Barnes second guess his pass and drop the ball, leading to a game-tying foul and 1. Here, Caruso is completely out of this play, as when Vucevic and Torrey Craig commit to Cunningham, it leaves the lane wide open for Jalen Duren. But before Duren can even catch the ball, it's gone. And later in the same game, he just does it again. Alex Caruso is always right on point with his defensive rotations, as here he recognizes that Tim Hardaway Jr. is open in the corner and quickly jumps into the passing lane to come up with the steal at the perfect moment. Even when he's in a mismatch, he's still able to make great defensive efforts. Like here, where Aaron Gordon gets the inside position, only for Caruso to back tap it as soon as he turns around to score. Over the course of his time with the Bulls, he was the lone defensive stopper in the starting lineup. But now playing alongside Lou Dort, I'm not sure how teams are supposed to score in this OKC defense. Here, Lou Dort plays the smaller Anthony Simons, and once Kendrick Williams stunts over to force him to pick up his dribble, it's cookies for Dort. Now just imagine that's Caruso coming over to help Dort instead. Lou Dort found himself matched up on guards a lot this season, as here with Jalen Green, he reads the crossover to perfection, forcing a turnover. But he didn't just do this once, but twice on Jalen Green in the same game. Dort is also a great help defender, as here Wemby has the mismatch on SGA down low, and right as Victor begins his upward motion, here comes Lou Dort to spike it away. And just like Caruso, even the all-time greats can't escape it, as here matched up on Stephen Curry, Dort forces Steph into a tough step-back 3, which he misses. Here it's Trae Young, and when Dort doesn't bite on the jab, he goes for a step-back 3, which is rejected. With the Thunder not confident in Josh Giddey's ability to play solid defense, and not wanting to risk putting SGA in foul trouble, Dort found himself matched up on guards all the time this season. But now with Caruso in the fold, this will rarely happen, allowing Dort to defend players at his size and his position, making him even more effective. And this is a great example of Dort guarding somebody his size, as here with Anthony Edwards as the matchup, he perfectly moves his feet to stay in front and forces Ant to chuck up an impossible shot. Here it's Edwards again. Dort will slide his feet, but Ant actually gets him beat with some great footwork and a pump fake. But Dort still makes an excellent recovery and blocks the shot from behind. Here Chet Holmgren turns the ball over, and Lou Dort has no interest in giving up on plays, so he makes a 90-foot dash to come up with the poke away on Cam Johnson. OKC will likely have a top 3 defense again, and it's not hard to see why of these two defensive monsters. The addition of Alex Caruso will also take a defensive load off of SGA, allowing him to focus all of his energy on scoring the ball. But in saying that, SGA has been a great defender himself, as he led the league in steals last season, and if he's your 3rd best defender in your starting 5, the Thunder are going to be scary defensively next season. But it's not just the defense from Caruso that will be impactful, but also his 3-point shooting. Here in an overtime game against the Raptors, we see Caruso's defense and offense single-handedly win Chicago this ball game. First, he finds himself on an island with Pascal Siakam and makes him pick up his dribble and then pokes it free. The ball then spills to Zach LaVine, who drives and kicks it back out to Caruso for a game-winning 3. And this was not the only time that Alex Caruso came up big in the clutch last season, as here with his team down 3 to the Bucks, the ball finds him.
Vucevic, Caruso, Alex Caruso to tie it again!
That's an incredible shot. But it's not just the big shots that Caruso is making, it's also the timely ones, as he's a much more confident and proficient three-point shooter than in seasons past. With Shea's tendency to score in the mid-range, he usually draws a lot of attention, which will free up Caruso for these open looks. Here, Caruso sets the pick for DeMar DeRozan to be able to switch on to Trae Young. And when Hunter stays with DeRozan, Caruso is left wide open for three and he knocks it down. Here, Iro DeSumu's on the drive, and once PG commits to cutting off his driving lane, he makes the pass out to Caruso, who is cash again. Here again, it's a drive and kick play where the ball finds Caruso for a warm-up triple. In seasons past, Jalen Green would have doubled DeRozan to force Caruso to shoot the ball, but now with his added range, he tries to stay in the middle. But even that is too much room for AC, who's able to knock it down. Here, imagine that DeRozan is SGA and Vooch is Chet. Here on the pick and roll, Bradley Beal is forced to help Vooch once Nurkic commits, leaving a wide open Caruso, and by now you know that's cash. Here he fakes the dribble handoff and recognizes that Horford won't be able to close the gap, so he lets it fly again. I've seen people compare this trade to when Golden State traded for Iguodala or when Boston landed Derek White, and they're not wrong with Caruso now being a capable scorer. When Golden State made the deal to land Andre Iguodala, they went from a mediocre team to a perennial title contender, eventually helping to bring home 4 championships. However, the Thunder were already the 1 seed last season and took the eventual Western Conference champs to a grueling 6-game series. The Thunder broke records for being the youngest 1 seed in NBA history and also the youngest team to ever win a playoff series. With the Thunder already having these kinds of achievements on their resume, bringing in a vet like Alex Caruso will make this Thunder team just that bit better. I also believe that the Thunder haven't finished making moves this offseason, as if they can get a strong big to help take the defensive load off of Chet, they'll be in good shape for sure. For me, that big man could be a guy like Steven Adams, who's been in the OKC system before, and because he's coming off of a serious injury, he wouldn't cost much to acquire. Another option is of course Nicholas Claxton once he enters free agency, or even a guy like Mitchell Robinson, who's been floating around in trade discussions this past week. If the Thunder can pull off any of these deals, they would have a Twin Towers defense in the front court and the most menacing backcourt defense the NBA has seen for a very long time. So what do you think? Are the Oklahoma City Thunder now true title contenders, or do they still have a ways to go? Let me know in the comments below.